so let's start off with a couple definitions that we need to know first. We have three definitions, actually. So, complementary, supplementary, and a linear pair. Have you heard of any of those terms with regards to an angle before?
Yes.
What have you heard? To what? Complementary, they're angles, and that is two angles whose measures add up to what? 90 degrees. I always think of complementary, I think of that k sound, and I think that it makes a corner. Corner. Complementary makes a corner, which is 90 degrees. Those angles do not need to be adjacent. They can be adjacent, but they don't need to be adjacent. But they're two angles that when you add them together will give you 90 degrees. Do you know what supplementary is then? Two angles whose measures add up to 180 degrees. Also with these guys, they do not need to be adjacent. So? A linear pair. A linear pair is a fancy name for adjacent supplementary angles. So if you have two angles that do add up to 180 and they happen to be adjacent, you could call them supplementary. You could also call them a linear pair. Okay. All right, number one, find the complement or supplement of each angle. Now this one is asking for the complement. What does complement mean? It's the degree measure that would add to this to get a total of what? 90 degrees. So the complement of 85 degrees, what do you add to 85 degrees to get 90?
5.
So the complement of 85 degrees is 5 degrees. What's the supplement of 37 degrees? How would I find that? Supplement means they need to add to 180, so 180 minus 37 is what? 143. 143 what? Degrees. Okay. All right, number 3. I was having a little trouble focusing here. Let's see if we can get that to stabilize. Okay. It says find the value of B. Now I notice B is right next to one of these box things. And what do those box things mean? 90 degrees. Okay. So this is 22 degrees. B is this one. So what do I notice about B and the 22 degrees? Together they make that right angle, don't they? So that means they are complementary. So how do I find B? Take 90 degrees, subtract that 22 degrees, and what do I get? 68 degrees. What do I have in number 4? Supplementary. These ones are adjacent, so they could also be called a linear pair. So how am I going to find B here? They're going to add up to 180. So 180 minus 112 is what? 68 degrees. So? Pretty easy, right? All right, if angle 1 and angle 2 are complementary angles, and angle 2 is 49 degrees, how do I find angle 1? 90 minus 49 is what? 41 degrees. Yeah? Yes, because you're finding the measure of an angle. Okay. All right, if LMN and NMP form a right angle. So hang on, I have a right angle. And let's see, what is the vertex of that right angle? M. And it looks like they're going to have an adjacent side. What's that side they share? What am I going to put as a point on that one? N, because they have N in common. And then one of these will be L, and the other one's going to be P. So what do I know about those two angles? They are complementary, right? Now it says angle LMN is 60 degrees. So I need to find NMP. That's that one. So 90 degrees minus 60 is 30 degrees. Pretty easy, right? You try 7 and 8. They deal with supplementary, but you try 7 and 8. All right, you think you got these? ABC and CBD are a linear pair, which means they're going to make 180 degrees. So if I draw something like that, hopefully I'll get the obtuse angle and the acute angle right, but whatever. What is my vertex in here? What's the vertex they share? B. What is the other point on the ray that they share? C, because they both have a C in them. So one of them is going to be A, and the other one is going to be D. Yeah? They tell me CBD is 84 degrees, so how do I find ABC? 180 minus 84, and what does that give me? 96 degrees. This is pretty easy, isn't it? All right, 3 and 4 are supplementary, meaning they add up to 180. Angle 4 is 112, so I'm going to take 180 and subtract. And what does that give me? We've had a lot of 68 degrees, haven't we, on these notes? Okay. So, solve for x. Now, these ones are a little different because it's not just two angles. This one actually has 1, 2, 3, 4 angles. Can I look at just two of them? Well, the only way I could is if I could see that something equaled 90 degrees, right? What is 70 and 35? Not 90 degrees, right? So I have to take this as just, I have to think of this as 45 plus x plus 35 plus 70. All four of them together are going to equal what? 180. So let's see, 45 plus 35 plus 70 is 150. So x plus 150 equals 180. Subtract my 150 from both sides, and what does x equal? 30 degrees. So-so. All right, what do I know about in number 10? They're complementary. If I have a straight line here, and I know that this half is 90 degrees, I can know that this side is also 90 degrees, because 90 and 90 gives me that 180. So how could I set up an equation knowing that those two angles together are going to equal 90 degrees? 2x plus 1 plus x plus 8 equals 90. So 2x plus 1 plus x plus 8. 2x and x give me 3x, and 1 and 8 give me 9. What do I do next? Subtract 9. So 3x equals, divide by 3, and what does x equal? Is that a degree measure? No, because it's not the angle, is it? I could find the angle if I needed to, couldn't I? Okay. I'm going to skip the next one. Why am I going to skip the next one? It's the exact same as number 9. And let's go straight over here. Now they give me two angles, and if you notice, those two angles together make up this line, don't they? So if I ignore this part right here, I have a linear pair. Yeah? What does that tell me about those two angles? They're supplementary, which means I can set them added equal to 180. So x plus 6 plus 5x equals 180. X and 5x on the same side give me 6x. Plus 6 equals 180. What do I do next? Subtract 6. So 6x equals 174. Divide by 6. And x equals 174 divided by 6. 29. Is that a degrees? Nope. Okay. All right, any questions? All right, your homework's posted. Happy studying.